Okay, so what I wanted to do was just talk about something that I think is coming up for so many light workers at the moment on so many levels, and that is compassion fatigue, burnout, and overwhelm. And there's lots of layers to this, okay? It was something that I've felt for the last few weeks. It's something that I should talk about, but particularly this week, I've seen it in a lot of people really feeling energetically overwhelmed, right? And I decided to take 2 cards out for the Archetype pack just to see what came up, and it was interesting what came up because we got the spiritual mother. Okay, so we're looking from a spiritual perspective. So if we look at the spiritual mother archetype and the mystic, okay. So in this session, I just want to talk about the light worker's role and the light worker's mission, and why so many light workers, why so many light workers are struggling at the moment, right? We all know there's a lot going on energetically in the collective, right? But what I want you to think about is that a lot of us who are light workers, right, for example, the last few years have been very ahead of the curve of what has been going on collectively. And many of us have been like the spiritual mother, trying to be very protective of the people we love, they care about. I know even my clients, my students, and even my groups, even though maybe people didn't understand what I've been trying to do, it's that motherly nature of trying to help and support people, but also a lot of us have been trying to wake people up, right? And it's like when a mother is trying to help her children grow up, right? There's things that are hard to do, but because we love them or we care for them, we're willing to put ourselves out there and do the hard job. And I know so many light workers that over the last few years have really put themselves on the line, right? I've been there myself, and we've all done it to different ways and different degrees and some of us have chose to do it different ways. But the reality is, for many people who have been putting themselves on the line and have been putting themselves out there, a lot of people are in compassion fatigue. So it's think about the mother. When the mother is unconditional love, it's generosity spirit, it's giving without receiving, right? Or without, sorry, it's not giving without receiving, it's the giving without expectation, right? But when you overgive, right, and when you do for others to an element of complete self-sacrifice, where it's not always valued, respected, honoured, or received with grace, well, guess what? You can get depleted. So you've got that element going on. But let's look at the mystic as well, right? And we're going to look at different elements of this. Think about the mystic, right? The mystic. So let's just look at what Caroline describes, and I'm just going to describe other interpretations of this, right? So the light attribute revels in intimate union with the divine. So the mystic, if we look at it from the light worker's perspective and their mystical connection, it's a connection with the divine that the person really enjoys and is in many ways lucky to have that spiritual union with spirit or divine and have that guidance, right? The shadow aspect is it's delusional. It's where we get caught up in the entrapments of that, and we get caught up in maybe we are not always seeing things clearly, or we may be deluded, or we maybe tap into the wrong guides or the wrong guidance, or we're or we're easily led by other spiritual teachers that are not really speaking the truth, all that kind of thing, right? Like everything, we all need balance, right? Because also when you're working with spiritual work, if you are all in your head and you're all for the spiritual work, but you don't do the deep inner work, and you don't do the grounding and the physical stuff, you don't look after yourself physically as well as spiritually, you get burnt out. And a lot of people are experiencing this now. Also, a lot of us are doing a lot of work. I know I always do twice a day. I usually do in the morning, I always meditate, and I do a lot of mornings I do some self-healing as well, and then in the afternoon is my time where I do meditation and healing. But I've recently, over the last 2 to 3 years, I've been doing work with a guy who's the work really powerful, and I at least do an hour. I was doing an hour's healing other than my meditation and my other stuff a day. And I'm quite disciplined and I do that. But I have to be honest, I started doing before Christmas working with someone else additionally to that. And it's led to about 2 hours work and a bit of meditation. Sometimes I've not been doing as much meditation, and I felt I wanted to do it, but it's been a lot. But guess what? I was getting a wee bit uncentered because I was just using their healing. I wasn't doing my own, as much of my own meditation. So guess what? I was doing all the spiritual work, but I wasn't remaining centered and grounded as much, right? And that can lead to overwhelm. But we're also in a situation at the moment, a lot of us are seeing a lot of things play out in our own lives. There's a lot of chaos coming to the surface, because we know part of the awakening, the next level of awakening, is a lot of chaos, a lot of unveiling, and as many light workers, being the mystic or being the sensitive, the psychic, the medium, are really picking up things from the collective. So it's more important than ever that the mother looks after themselves, right? It's really important, and the mystic looks after themselves, because the energies are chaotic. Things in the whole world are coming up. There's more being revealed. There's a lot of chaos and destruction coming up, and it's like Mother Earth is also bringing a lot of stuff to the surface, right? And that means that although all our own wounding is coming to the surface, also means that we need to take extra care, because other people around about us, we have the tools, but being ahead of the curve, it's almost like a lot of us have burnt ourselves out because we've been really pushing for humanity for the last few years. Yes, a lot of people are just waking up. It's really hard for them because they're having to fast track, but it's almost like you've been going for so long, and you've been trying to be on the road for so long to help people, and at full speed ahead, that you need the rest. It is so important you take care of yourself at the moment, right? You need to take care of yourself, right? It's vital that you take care of yourself. So remember, the mother needs self-nurturing, right? When the shadow aspect comes in, you can end up abandoning your children, right? And you can create all sorts of healthy codependency issues, or you can create unhealthy traits within your business or within yourself. So it's so important that you learn to take care of yourself, and that you get grounded, right? And you look at any unhealthy patterns that are happening within your own life, within your business, and within even these archetypes. Okay, so I said I would leave it to 15 minutes. I'm going to leave it to there. So just remember that it is crazy times, right? And nothing's ever permanent. Okay, nothing is ever impermanent, but it's so important that we make sure we look after ourselves. Okay, bye for now, everyone. Bye. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.